Yeah, we'll be starting on the floor today. It's about cultivating inner strength. So let's get started. Seated first. Let me make sure my mic is working. Yes, it's a go. All right, very good. Take a comfortable seat with a little chat about what does it mean to cultivate inner strength, confidence. This comes from an awareness that all that we need is within us. When we're looking outside for acknowledgement or looking for someone else to tell us or tell us what to do, we give away our power. And inner strength comes from honoring the power within. This is your third chakra. And this is the power to mobilize and take right action in your own life for your own well-being. Sure, it's very nice to have guides and witnesses in our life and those people who help us along the way and give us, our cheerleaders, acknowledge us for what we do. And if you are surrounded by people like that, that is a gift. And I hope that you really cherish that gift that others give you in your life in that way or promotion. And if, on the other hand, there are few people like that in your life, be one of those people to yourself and be one of those people to others, and you will find greater connections and more people who reciprocate that action of being a witness in your life, acknowledging you for who you are, and then seeing your courage. If you are also just seeing how courageous you are in your own life, you'll develop inner strength. With that, we're going to start on the ground. This is from the ground up class today. So lie all the way back, stretch your feet out, hook the thumbs, extend the arms overhead, and just take a deep breath, a couple deep breaths in. Feeling the whole range and length of the body. Feeling the breath. And getting out of your head, your thinking mind, and into the feeling body. Feel your toes. Feel your ankles. Feel your knees. Feel your quads. Feel your hips. Feel your torso. Feel your arms. Feel the lungs. Exhale. Let's bring your hands to your belly and practice a belly breath. Inhale, expanding the belly. And exhale, releasing. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, releasing. 2 more. Deep belly breath. It slows down everything when we breathe through the belly. And when you're awake at night and it's hard to sleep, a trick that I use is to just come into a belly breath. Put the hands on the belly and concentrate on breathing in, letting the belly rise, and breathing out, letting it fall. It can help relax the mind and relax the body enough to get you back to sleep. We're not, however, going to sleep here. So place the hands on the ribs and breathe into the midsection. So 3-part breath. And we're taking it 1 part at a time, breathing into the belly first, now the ribs. Getting used to initiating the breath from different areas of the body. In this case, expanding from the front ribs all the way around to the back. And then place the hands on the heart and expand into the chest. Or place the hands under the armpit, expand through the chest, across the clavicle, from the clavicle spreading all the way out to the shoulder. Feel the heart lift and lower. One more full breath. See if you can push it into the shoulder area. Relax the hands by your side and take a breath into all three areas. Belly, ribs, and chest. And expand up and out, up and down, and then exhale, release and collapse. So like your body is a sponge, you're inhaling to increase both downward and upward, and then exhale, push all the air out. Again, inhale, as if you're a sponge soaking up every last drop of water, and in this case, breath. And exhale. Then bring a block. We'll bend the knees and we'll slide the block underneath the sacrum. If you don't have a block, you can use a pillow, anything that is supportive. Bolster works just as well. Bring the right knee up into the chest and work the ankle in a clockwise rotation. Ankle mobility, and reverse the action. So your left foot remains anchored to the floor, the right knee's up towards the chest. And we're going to extend the leg to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, lower the leg towards the floor. Inhale, raise back up. We're not actually touching, but you're taking the heel down, stretching this whole front side hip flexor, lifting back up twice more. And once more. Bring it all the way back up into the chest, bend the knee, then work it a little bit closer to the armpit, and release the right foot to the floor. And we'll do the same thing on the left side. The left knee comes into the chest, get some rotation through the ankle in one direction, and then reverse the action, drawing a circle in the opposite direction. Take the leg to the sky, inhale, right leg remains anchored to the earth, and then exhale, lower the left leg straight down, hover above the earth, and inhale, raise back up. Exhale, lower, almost to touching, inhale, back up. Let's do it twice more. Exhale, lower, inhale, raise the leg. And one last time, as straight as you can. It doesn't have to be like perfect. And then bring the knee all the way up into the chest. So we get a big split in the legs here, but both knees are bent. So this is more for opening the hamstring very gently than to just crank it, right? So we keep the knee bent and release the left leg. We're gonna slide it all the way straight to the floor, the heel touching. And bring your right heel to match the left. So both legs full out straight. I'm riding the wave of the block here. Hook the thumbs and reach the arms overhead. Inhale. So right back in that full extension, but the hips are elevated by the block. And exhale. One more time. Good, and release. Bring the hands down to your side, bend the knees. We'll lift the hips to remove the block. Keep it handy because we'll revisit the block in a moment. So we're coming into bridge. Lower the hips to the floor. Inhale, lift the hips. And the arms are going to sweep overhead. So they're following suit on the inhale. Exhale. Stretch the hips forward, elongate through the body, lower the hips. and then lower the arms, they follow. That's one breath. Inhale, lift the hips, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, lower the hips. That's the initial movement, and then lower the arms. See if they can have a little pause in between. Inhale, raise the hips. There's a pause. Raise the arms. Exhale, lower the hips. There's the pause. Lower the arms. Twice more. Inhale, lift the hips. Raise the arms. Keep a good squeeze in the inner thighs. Exhale, lower the hips. Lower the arms. One last time. Inhale, raise the hips. Raise the arms. And exhale, lower the hips. And lower the arms. Well done. Bring the block between the shin here. We're going to give it a good squeeze for some abdominal work or core work. Arms at your side, knees, heels relaxed towards your hips, knees hovering over the hips. Then press the low back into the mat. Inhale, exhale, keep the low back into the mat and toe tap the floor. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, toe touch. If your low back is lifted, then on the inhale, come into a crunch, hold the crunch, exhale, lower the toes. It's a little easier here to keep the low back on the mat with the torso raised. It's a little harder with the torso down, so you'll actually feel more effort if the torso is actually relaxed and all in the belly, really trying to push the navel to the spine. Don't let your low back come off the ground. And for those of you who want a little bit more challenge, extend the legs straight out and bring the knees back in. 4 more, for a total of 10. Inhale, exhale, push the legs away, keep the low back on the mat. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, and I promise you right here, if your low back is raised, you work the belly harder if the low back's on the mat. Try to keep it pressured, like a blood pressure cuff. Low back to the mat, bring it in, and release the head if it's not already. Bring the arms wide and roll the head side to side. I'm going to move the block to the knees, plant the feet on the floor, and raise back up into a bridge. Arms alongside the torso, so a little narrower stance here. Push down through the feet, get the hips to lift, raise the heart up towards the chin, keep the back of the head pressing into the floor. Here, so the chin is even with your forehead, not tucked down like this. Keep it even. Raise the right leg straight up. We're going to hold. So I'm squeezing the block. The leg is straight forward. 3 breaths. And then we'll bend the knee, tuck the foot underneath and press down. Hamstring curl here, building some strength in the legs. Inner strength comes from the confidence for doing something hard and to the finish. So we're building confidence here, building inner strength and inner knowing we have everything we need in our life. It's right here. You have to go looking outside yourself. Let's bring the hips down, knees hovering. This time we will, everyone, bring the hands behind the base of the skull, interlace the fingers. Deep breath in, exhale, raise the head, neck, and shoulders off the floor and twist to the right as the left leg extends out in a bicycle. Inhale back to center. Knees hover over the hips. Exhale, twist to the left. Keep the shoulder blades raised. Inhale back to center. Shoulder blades raised. Exhale, twist to the right. Shoulder blades raised. We're only doing 5 each side. That's already 2. Exhale, twist. Shoulder blades raised. And I promise you, it's harder. You keep the shoulder blades off the ground, twist, and go slow versus taking it into a fast action. This is going to be slow, methodical. Keep the hips on the ground. And then back to center. And number 4. Bring the knee in. Exhale, twist. Hold, raise the shoulder blade off the ground. Inhale, center. 1 more each side. Should be feeling it by now. Exhale, twist. Keep the shoulder blades lifted. Head relaxed into the hands, hands wide. Exhale, twist. Hold here. Inhale back to center. And exhale. Now you get to release. Hug the knees in. Roll the head side to side. No pressure in the neck. See if you can release any tension there. And gently bring the knees or the feet back to the floor. We'll take a third bridge. Maybe that's a fourth. No block. Squeeze the knees towards each other. Raise up. We'll just concentrate on keeping the feet plugged into the earth, both the inner ball and heel and the outer ball and heel. So very even, comfortable pressure through all four corners of the feet. Lift the chest, sternum towards the chin. Hold 3. Hold 2. Hold 1. Hold it up here. Bring the right knee into the chest. Press down with the left leg. Raise the right leg. And exhale, lower. 3 times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Building strength. Lift. Exhale, lower. Lift to the sky. Bend the right knee. Place it on the floor and we'll switch sides. Left leg comes up. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Take a break when it's necessary. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Alternatively, you could keep both feet on the ground and just hold it. And back to center. Bend the knee. Place the left foot on the ground and roll the hips all the way back down. Nice. Hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side. And then forward and back with the hands underneath the knees. We'll take a rocking fashion, releasing the spine. If that doesn't feel good for you, just come up to seated. One more. I found a good creak in my flooring. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, hands on the ankles. Lift to a vertical spine. Exhale, round over, elbows wide. Press the knees towards the floor and hold 3. Deep breath in, deep breath out. 2. One more. Maybe forward fold a little bit deeper. And then come back up. We'll lift the outer knee so they're parallel. Bring your feet a little hip distance apart. Hands behind the base of the hip. Elbows hugging in, shoulder blades on the back. Fingers pointing out. And then lift into a table. So press the feet down and open the heart and chest here. Try not to come into the shoulders. So we're going to lift up out of the shoulder socket. Really sturdy, stable. Holding for 3 breaths. That's already 2. One more. And then release back down to the floor. We'll put this together in a flow. Soles of the feet together. Inhale to extension. So we're moving the spine in 2 directions. Exhale, flexion. You can see that it's rounding. Inhale back to extension. Exhale, flexion. Knees parallel and you're rounding the back. Inhale, extension. Plant the hands behind, shoulder blades on the back. Exhale, push the feet into the floor, lift the hips, and we're back into that table. Hold here for a breath. Inhale. And exhale, release. We'll do that twice more. Soles of the feet together. Reach the arms through, grab the ankles. Inhale to extension. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift back into extension. Exhale, rounding. Inhale to extension, hands behind. Exhale, heels down, lift the hips. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. One more set through. Inhale, bring the hands through. Onto the ankles, lift through the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift, that's extension. Exhale, round back into a cat. Inhale, prepping for tabletop. Chest lifts, heart lifts, hands to the mat. Exhale, lift the hips into full table. Inhale, hold. And exhale, release down to the floor. Bring the knees wide. Take your arms through, and with peace fingers, grab the big toe with the first two fingers of each hand. You're going to lean back slightly, balancing between or just below the tailbone and the sit bones. So we're going to extend the right leg out, big stretch, and bend the knee. Extend the left leg out, and a wide stretch, and bend. Again, right leg stretches out, and exhale, bend. Left knee straight out, and bend, and then take the right leg. We're going to hold here, balance, by bringing the left leg out as well. Plug the shoulder blades on to the back. Lift the heart, full breath in, full breath out. This is the fun, playful part of class. If you fall back, just come right back into it. No problem. And then release, cross at the ankles, take the hands forward, turn the knees back. Hands and knees, a little cat-cow here. Inhale and exhale, flexion. Take a couple more of those cat-cows. I'm just checking to make sure that our recording is on. Yes. Inhale, extension, exhale, flexion, and some movement in the spine. Beautiful job. And then cross the feet. Let's come back onto your back. I'm going to show you a posture that we're going to take a little later in class called Bakasana, or crow, but we're going to do it on the floor first, so you get the idea. The feet come together, the knees are wide, and the arms are going to lift, and you're doing a crunch, and then bring the tricep to the back, or the front of the knee to the back of the arm, tricep. Extend the hands to the ceiling, and then give a little tiger claw grip with the fingers. All right, so you're lifting, push elbows into knees, knees into elbows. And that's going to give you a little hollowing out of the navel. So you're pulling the belly towards the spine. And then release it. Stretch the arms overhead. Exhale one more time. Knees come wide. Feet together. Elbows hugging. So lifting the torso far enough up that your elbows come on top of the knees, and then release back down. Turn the knees to the left, and we'll take that into a side twist. Tiger claw the earth again here. Knees facing the left, the feet turn to the right. And we're in a twisting side crow. Come back to center. Shift the knees to the right, the feet to the left. And then curl up, bringing the elbows to the side of the leg. And we're in a twisting side crow to the left. And come back to center. And cross the ankles, rolling up. Back onto hands and knees. And we'll see a little bit later in class how that pans out. When we're doing that, even in a supine position, it requires much of the belly, as it does when we're on our hands. We're going to memorize, muscle memory, that action, so we can use it later. So from hands and knees, flip the right hand around, claw the earth with your fingertips, and then shift the shoulder back just ever so slightly, bend the elbow. We start opening up the forearm. And this is great, especially when we're doing handstands or arm balancing of any kind. It helps to open up the wrist and strengthen the forearm. So to release that, I'm just going to peel the fingers, the hand back, shake the hand out. And plant the right hand. Flip the left hand outside and around, fingertips facing you. Root down through the fingertips. So here, my fingers are so strong I can't lift them. And I'm just a micro bend in the elbow, and I'm sitting back, bringing the shoulder behind the wrist. So that feels very stretchy. This is my second time doing this today, so I'm getting a little deeper. You will see yourself improve over time with practice. And then shift the weight forward off the bent wrist and release. Shake the wrist out. Okay, we'll come back here and turn the toes under and take our first downward facing dog here. Walk the feet back till the heels almost touch the earth. So some friends will be closer here and some friends will be a little further away, depending on your hamstring department and the bone structure. But take a downward facing dog that feels compelling in this, both the strengthening and the lengthening arena. And then come forward into a high plank position here. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Twice more. Inhale, pull the hands back, slide or glide the heart forward. Exhale, push the hands away, and the heart comes towards the thigh. One more. Forward. And exhale back. We're going to utilize our push-up mechanism. So coming forward, bring the knees to the floor, bend the elbows halfway down, and then we're pushing back up. So we're building strength in the arm. Press all the way back into child's pose. Inhale forward. Exhale, bend at the elbow, lower down halfway, pause. Inhale, press up. Exhale, back into child's pose. For a third time, inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower, hold. Inhale, press up. Exhale, hips to heels. Then glide the heart above the surface of the floor, sliding or gliding forward into low cobra. Inhale. And then exhale, take it all the way back into a downward facing dog. Reach the right leg to the sky and step forward into a low lunge. Inhale, heart and chest forward to extension through the spine, and then exhale, flexion. I'm going to take movement with the legs and the spine. Inhale, extend, and exhale, flex. And twice more. Inhale, extension, exhale, flexion. One more. Step it all the way back, downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky, inhale, same thing. We'll step all the way forward. Left hand, inhale, extend the spine as much as possible. Exhale, flexion, so we bow forward. Inhale to more extension, heart through the shoulder. Exhale, push the floor away and extend the front leg. Twice more. I'm up on my fingertips because that gives me a little more height. You could opt for a block here. And press all the way back up. This time bend the knee and step your right leg forward to meet your left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop in and down. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Palms together, heart center. Exhale, let's take a little shoulder roll. Forward, up, back, and down. And we'll play with a side bend stretch here, up and over to your right. Exhale, hold for a breath. Pulling the top arm to the ceiling and the arm that's gripping the wrist towards the side wall. And then come back to center. Exhale, up and over to the left. Same thing, so we're creating some resistance with the hand pulling out and the arm pulling up. Feet firm, pull the low belly in. Come back to center. And one more time, over to the right. This idea of protecting the low back by engaging the pelvic floor is foundational for your back health. You want to be mindful of that. Come back to center. Right here, pull the low belly in, Mula Bandha, pelvic floor lift. And you'll feel the sit bones move towards the floor, the tailbone drop towards the floor, and more length in the low back, and then crescent over to your left. Full deep breath in and full deep breath out. Inhale to center. Exhale, bring the hands to the base of the spine. Hands, fingertips up, down, or sideways. Bring the elbows in, lift the sternum, and lay it all the way back to a half moon shape towards the back wall. Inhale, 3 breaths. Spreading the clavicle wide from the center outward towards the shoulder. Strong lift through the heart. Want to keep the heart lifted. Elbows in. Root down through the feet. Plug the rib towards the hip. Come back to center. Inhale. Open your arms to the sky. And then exhale, bend the knees and bring the chest to the thigh. Right here. Inhale, half lift. Hands on the shins. Exhale, drop in and down. Inhale, come back to standing. Hands to the heart center. And we'll take this in a different playful arena. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back with the left leg. Right leg stays forward. Bend the back knee gently to the floor and bring both hands to the thigh. Anjaneyasana. Hugging front heel and back knee towards each other. Reach the arms overhead, hooking the thumb. Hold for 3. Hold 2. Big breath in, big breath out. And hold 1 more. See if I can get the hair out of my eyes. Then you're going to bring the hands to the floor, just the left arm forward to the corner edge of your mat. The right leg is going to extend back to the back edge of your mat. So we're coming into side plank. Open the right arm to the sky. Side plank. Grip the floor strongly with your powerful claws, fingertips, the pads of the fingers, and then reach the right arm overhead, bicep to ear. Inhale, raise the right arm, right leg. They come at a 90-degree angle to each other. Exhale, reach overhead and to the ground with the toes. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift and hold. Bend the top leg, reach around underneath the big toe, clasp the foot, and press the foot back into the hand. So we're in this side plank, balancing, foot into hand pulling back, and a deep opening through the shoulder. Release the leg and the hand. Plant the right hand to the floor. Right leg is straight back. Press the heel and pulse. And then we'll raise the left knee off the ground, lower it back down. And again, push the floor away. We're learning the dynamic of resistance and using it to our benefit. So you're resisting the floor with the hands, pulling the belly in and up, inner strength. Then unfold the left foot into a full downward facing dog. Just notice the difference between the right and the left legs. Inhale, come into a high plank position. Exhale, bring the knees to the floor and lower down halfway. So we'll take our push-ups, 3 of them. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, glide forward. Lower down 3 inches, pause, press back up. Exhale, hips to heels. And a third time coming forward. Inhale, glide. Exhale, bend the elbows. Lower down halfway. Pause. Press back up. Hips to heels. Hover above the earth. The heart coming forward into low cobra. Shift and slither like a snake. Inhale into low cobra. And exhale back into a downward facing dog. Reach the left leg to the sky. And let's step all the way through left foot to left hand and push off. Come forward with the right foot. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bring the torso towards the shin. Inhale, press down through the feet. Come all the way to standing. Palms together. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Drop the arms to your side. We'll do the second side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. This time, step back with the right leg as you inhale. Gently bring the knee to the floor, both hands to the thigh. Coming back into Anjaneyasana. Hook the thumbs, reach the arms overhead. Hold 3. Strong, lift through the belly, power through the pelvic floor. 2. So building, progressing. And 1, inner strength. Hold, hold, hold. Go a little bit deeper. Each minutia, minuscule movement, what do I want to say, centimeter, millimeter, that's what I'm looking for. Each millimeter creates a deeper connection, and it's much harder. So now we're going to plant the right hand to the floor. Left leg comes all the way back. Extend the right leg, and we're now in side plank, facing the opposite direction. Inhale, raise the left arm and left leg. They come off the floor, and then exhale, bring the foot back to the floor and the arm overhead. Deep side bend stretch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Stay connected with your core. When you lower, it's not a release. It's a lower and touch. It's not a collapse. Okay, really keep that extension tight through the waist. Lift the arm again. Exhale, lower. This time, lift to hold. Bend the knee. Reach behind. In an overhand grip or underhand grip, push the foot into the hand and open the chest. Anchor the rib towards the hip. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more time. And then release the leg. Square the shoulders, left hand comes to the floor, square the hips, and then press into the floor and lift the right knee off. Inhale, gently come down. Exhale, push the floor away. And inhale, gently come back down. Exhale, all the way into a downward facing dog. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, come into a high plank. This time, if you can, let's keep the knees off the ground. Okay, so if you want to challenge, I'm going to bend halfway. Press back up. Take downward facing dog. 3 of those. Inhale, coming forward. So again, we're still building strength and stamina in the arms. Bend, elbows hug to your side. Push back up. You good. It does take a lot of core effort as well. So your belly, as you lower down, lifts up. Okay, it's taking that opposite movement from the gravitational pull, and that's what keeps it strong. Then come into a high plank, bring the knees to the floor, hips to the heels in a child's pose, and then ride the wave forward, coming into low cobra, hovering above the earth with the heart, lift. And then exhale and full downward facing dog. Very well done. Left leg to the sky. Let's see, right leg to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip here. With a little rotation through the ankle and step it through. Right foot to right hand. Bring your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, half lift, hands on shins. Exhale, drop in and down. Inhale all the way to standing. Palms together, exhale, hands to the heart center. And we get to shake the wrists out again. If you're doing this, be a little mindful of how much pressure the forearms are holding versus the joint of the wrist. So if your joint in the wrist is getting a little sore or tender, it could be you're meeting your maxed out, you're meeting your edge. Okay, so I want you to go a little bit lighter on the wrists. And this next section is more for a standing sequence. So we'll be off the wrist. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the left leg back. Right leg stays forward. You're going to pivot the heel to the ground and come into a triangle pose. Hand to the shin, and we lock the front knee. But instead of feeling like you're locking and pushing back, I want you to lock and then press into the ball of the foot. So there's a slight tone to the calf muscle. That tone will help keep the legs straight without hyperextending. Now I reach the left arm to the sky. I'm going to get that full, deep inner stretching of the hamstring and the inner thigh, strengthening as well. That's already 3 breaths. Pull the heel back, bring the elbow to the thigh, and reach the left arm in a circular motion towards the back wall. Inhale, up and around. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, forward, up. Exhale, back and down. We'll do it 3 times. So 3rd time's a charm. Let's lift yourself up into a warrior 2. Reverse the warrior. So we're going to keep the legs steady. The arm and torso are moving. And then come back through warrior 2. Flank the foot. Coming into a twisting low lunge. So we skip touching the ground with the right arm and reach it all the way overhead. So we're going to circle. Opposite motion now. Taking it back into the twist. Deeper twist. Arm comes up, and as it reaches forward, we're facing the floor, really stretching through the heel and the fingers, all the way back up. Hold here, get really long in the torso, plant the hand, and step the right leg all the way back to meet the left. Yay, it was excellent. Inhale, come into plank. We'll take 3 final push-ups, pressing down, fingertips into the floor, downward facing dog. Work with all your might to use your forearms, because when you press down, fingertips are strong, push the floor away, your forearms are working more than your wrists, hopefully. Okay, stay out of the wrist a 3rd time, lower down. Press back up, knees to the floor, into child's pose, slide along the surface of the mat, inhale to low cobra, tops of the feet down, and hold. Exhale, release, back into downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky, inhale. Bend the knee, open the hip. And we're going to do something interesting here. We're just going to take a little hip mobility. So the left leg comes in, crosses over to the right knee, left knee, and then sweeps around in a big circle motion. And then it steps all the way through, top of the mat. Push off with the back foot, come in, inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop in and down. Inhale all the way to standing. Palms together, exhale. Hands to your heart. Okay, interlace the fingers here. Let's make a figure 8 with the wrist. So we're still really working on keeping the wrists in a very safe place. And then reverse the action or initiate figure 8 with the opposite, from the opposite direction. Shake the hands out, top of the mat. And I do remember that we have one more side to do. Inhale, take the arms overhead. We'll even this out. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, step the right leg all the way back. Press the back heel to the floor, coming into Trikonasana. So it's a pushing of the floor away, straightening the leg, locking the knee out. Right arm to the sky. And then to keep from hyperextending, you're going to push through the ball of the front foot. Energize the whole of the foot. So your calf is working as much or more as your quadricep is working. This quadriceps lifting the knee, it's working to keep the leg straight. That's already 2 breaths. That's probably 3, but we'll stay here for 5, no worries. 1 more breath to stabilize the pose. We want to find that good alignment, find the stability, and then just stay in it for your edge for a few breaths. Then bend the front knee, gently hook the elbow to the thigh. Pressing down, make sure you've got a pretty good wide stance here. The right arm reaching to the back wall, circle all the way around, and let your gaze follow the trajectory of your fingers. That's twice. Inhale, coming up again, and a 3rd time around. This time lift yourself up into a warrior 2 as the arm reaches to the sky. You're going to take your gaze forward out over the left fingers. Right arm to the right thigh. Left arm reaching up. Still your gaze is following the fingertips. And then come back through warrior 2 all the way to the floor. Lifting the back heel, come into a twisting low lunge. Left arm revolving round in a circle. So it never touches the ground. I actually touched down because I forgot. And another circle. And again, plant the left hand to the floor. Step all the way back into downward facing dog. Oh, yes, we made it. Inhale, come into the top of a push-up. Oh, this is our last one. Lower down. Press back up. So this makes for, let's see, 3 times 5. I think we've done 15 push-ups. Come forward, hover, press back up. And 2 sets of 3, so 6 of them have been with the knees off the ground, and possibly more than sets than that. That's the 3rd one. Bring the knees to the floor, hips to the heels. Hover above the earth as you pull the hands back and bring the chest all the way through into a low cobra. Hold, that feels so good. And release. Press back into downward facing dog. Right leg to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. Now we're going to bring the knee across and under to the left elbow, right elbow, and then keep sweeping the knee around in a big circle so we get a nice openness through the hip. Big circle through the hip. And a 3rd time is the charm. And then we'll step the right leg forward, top of the mat. We did finish it out. I think did equal on both sides. Press your left foot to match your right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop in and down. Inhale, come all the way to a standing posture, palms together, and hands to the heart center. I'm going to back up and then face you. We'll take the feet. Actually, let's take it just sit bone distance apart. Slightly wider than you may have had it. Inhale, the arms overhead, just a forward fold here. Exhale. As you go forward and reach the toes or not reach the toes, you're going to clasp the big toe with the first 2 fingers of each hand. So I'm making peace fingers here. I'm slicing between the big toe and the second toe. Curling the fingers around. Inhale, lifting the heart forward. Sit bones back and the inner thighs back and wide. And then I'm going to bring the chest to the thigh and lower the head down and hold for 3 deep, long breaths. Let your shoulder blades come up the back to the head is dangling. Another breath. And release the toe, but bring the hands behind the shins. Elbow, hand to elbow. Hold 3. Alternatively, you could hold palm to palm. 2. Squeeze the shins in. Broaden the thighs out. And one more breath in this forward fold. We're going deeper than we've gone before. Release the hands forward. Inhale, lift to a flat back. Exhale, bring the hands up to the waist, elbows to the sky, and inhale. Come all the way to standing. You might want to bend the knees a little bit and hopefully not pass out. Now take the feet a little wider. Toes turned out. Inhale, the arms overhead. Exhale, touch your elbows to your knees as you bend. You're coming in here, kind of a squat, elbows to knees. Inhale, push back up, the floor away. Toes stay turned out. Exhale again, elbow to knees. So the trick here is to not let your knees come forward so that your heels lift. And if your heels are lifting, place something underneath the heels. You can make a little shelf with either your mat or something else that you have handy. And this time as you bend, bring the elbows inside the knee and drop the hips down. Keep the heels flat on the floor or bolstered with something. So we're in a full malasana or a squat. Then bring the hands to the floor. Lift the hips, turn the feet parallel. And get the extension through the spine. Exhale, bring the heart towards the thigh, chest towards the thigh. Inhale, move the chest away. Exhale, turn the heels in and come back into malasana. Knees bend, sit way back into the heels. The weight's in the heels, not in the ball of the foot. If you have it in the ball of the foot, you're going to feel pressure in the knee. Then we'll plant the hands, lift the hips again, parallel the feet. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift again. You got the pattern, heels in, toes out, exhale, malasana. We're going to do that twice more. From the side, inhale, lift the hips. Feet parallel, extend the chest away from the thigh, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, it's like a half lift. We have a wide space between the feet. Toes out, heels in, exhale. We come back into malasana. So we're really working those inner thighs. One more time. Inhale, push through the floor, toes parallel. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift to half. And exhale, heels in, toes out. That could be done with a block. You could have a blocks in front of you. Super helpful. Now moving into our crow, you're going to take a hand position that looks like Chaturanga, but we're going to lean forward and come up onto the toes, plant the hands, grip the floor with the fingers, shift the weight so it's in the hands, but not dumping into the floor. You got to push the floor away to stay steady. Push the elbow up into the shin, knee, shin down into the elbow. And if you'd like, you could bring the feet off the ground and hover and just hold for 5 deep breaths. So a toe on the ground, both toes lifted, both toes down. It's really up to you. The progression for that inner strength we're looking for is it is just that. It's a progression. We're finding our inner deep strength, core, and that lift, the parachutes our hips up is a healthy lift. And then bring the feet back to the floor. Hands together, interlacing the fingers and rotate the wrist. Then we'll come to a seated position. So drop the hips, extend the legs forward. Perfect timing. Right knee comes open into an L shape. So I'm going to just shift slightly. I'm at the diagonal. Inhale, plant the hands, lift through the chest, heart and chest. That's a lot of energy through the arms. Then we're going to lean forward. in our L shape, Janu Shirshasana. Some friends are going to be low towards the mat and other friends are going to be right up here. This is solely dependent on your anatomy, like how your hips are put together with the femur bone, how your low back is feeling today. If you have any disc issues, stay more upright. I can feel this. Just lean into it and shift my pelvic bowl forward. That gives me a deeper stretch in the inner thigh. I don't have to do much to make it work. And then slowly, those of you who are really forward folding, come back up and bring this inner foot down towards the knee just a little bit. So we have a slight shift and we can rotate towards the straight leg. Right arm now crossing to the left ankle, wrap around the heel. Inhale, lift, and then exhale. Charge forward into head to knee pose, Janu Shirshasana. Take some deep, long breaths. And we've done a lot of extension and flexion to heart open and also to get the solar plex activated. It's our third chakra. And we've done some things with the legs as well. One more breath here. That helps root us, anchor through the root chakra, and come back up to center. We'll take the bent leg, step over the straight leg. One of my favorite sequences to do. It really helps us cool down for a bit. And then we'll wrap the elbow across the knee and twist over to your right. Let your gaze go all the way to the corner edge of the eye. Three breaths, that's already 3 breaths. Come back to center. Release the right leg to the floor and take the left leg. Now we'll do the second side. Knee in, fold it out. I guess we should say unfold it. So we're coming into that more wide angle L shape. Foot to the inner thigh, kicks down through the back hand. Lift the spine and then exhale, take it forward. Again, to the degree that feels perfectly legit for your body, helpful, not harmful. Breathing with ease. So each exhale can take you a little deeper. It should feel as though we're waiting for the body to tell us the next move. We're not dictating the next move. The inner strength comes from listening. It comes from a deep responsible for our own well-being. So that means listening. If we're looking for a quick fix or to go to the doctor and say, give me a pill for this ailment or that ailment, we're not looking at the deeper issue. Okay, and I'm going to be the one to tell you that. But it does take work and mindfulness to really get to the root issue or cause of what might be not promoting the healing in the body. So slide the left foot down towards the knee a little bit. Come more into a tighter L. So the chest is now even with the straight leg. Reaching the left arm around, come into Janu Shirshasana. Full head to knee pose. Again, listening and feeling. How are my shoulders showing up? Am I building more tension in the body? When we build more tension, just by the way we hold our body, we actually invite the stress hormone cortisol. And cortisol helps us gain weight. If that's where you want to go, then by all means, let's create more stress in the body. If that's not where you want to go and you're feeling like you're building belly fat comes from cortisol. Cortisol comes from stress hormone. Stress comes from our thinking that we need to be or do something other than what we are being and doing. Let's come back up to center. Our stress is thinking about something that we have to run away from, fight or flight response in the body because of chronic stress in our lives. So it doesn't have to be a tiger chasing us. It could be, let's take this into a twist. It could be our finance situation chasing us, and we're stressed over that. Okay, take a deep breath. Look around. Where are you? You're seated. You have a roof over your head. You have electricity. You have a phone. You have, look at the things that you have. Tap into gratitude. Gratitude eradicates stress. They cannot be in the same sentence. When we are in gratitude and in abundance, it's much easier to use our intuition and use our strength and our core remembrances of who we are to navigate through life. Let's unwind slowly and gently. Bring both feet straight out. We'll take the hands to the back side kickstand. Lift the spine vertically. Shoot the toes up to the sky. And then exhale. If you can, bring the fingers off without slumping back. Then unkickstand. So you can bring the arms wide. Slip them underneath the thigh or the knee. Then press the knees down into the hands. Hands pull back. And see if you can get the chest to lift forward. That might be quite a stretch in the hamstrings for some folks. If you want to bend the knees here and then lean forward to get the belly to touch the thigh, the hip bone to touch the thigh, go for it. And some friends will be able to straighten the legs and do the same thing. And if you're one of those, then you're going to just slowly come down a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper with the breath. Again, we're listening to the body. We're just noticing where it is releasing and where it's tense. And then gently come back up. We're not holding that for a full minute today, but we'll take it down to where we started on our back. Keep your block or bolster nearby. Rolling all the way down. We'll come into a bridge, lifting the hips, and then place your block right underneath the sacrum. So slide it under, and I have it on the first height, okay, the lowest height. You can put it on any height you'd like, but the first height, let's try that one first. Get the shoulder blades underneath you. Lift the chin. So the chin is level with the forehead. That means the forehead's pressing back and down, and that lightens the load of the cervical spine. And in fact, we don't want any load on it at all. We want the load to come through the outer shoulder. And then we'll lift the right knee and the left knee without sinking the heart. Keep the heart lifted and extend both legs. This is called supported shoulder stand. We're going to be here for about 20 breaths. So you get to manage how you want to be in the shoulder stand. This is one option. Another option is to lift the thighs up off, or lift the hips off the block, and then hold the thighs with the hands. They're in another supported but hovering position. And some friends can do this, and some friends are just gonna no way, that's not happening. Okay, if you'd like to come into full shoulder stand, it's the hands now braced behind the hips. So they're holding elbows in, feet come to the sky, and then we're in full shoulder stand. Now we're already 8 breaths in, so those of you who are in full shoulder stand, you can stay here. Or those of you who are in a supported shoulder stand with the hips on the block, stay there for the next 10 breaths.
I'm going to invite people in full shoulder stand to touch the toe to the floor behind you. So you're going overhead with the leg, touching the floor behind you, left leg, and then back up to center, right leg again. And back to center, left leg. Remember, your chin should be even with the forehead, both legs in plow for the last 4 breaths, holding. The hands are supporting, the legs are straight. Make sure you're not hanging out with the feet. If the feet aren't touching the floor, then bend the knees and hold the feet up to the sky in this manner. Okay, or if you're in full halasana, make sure the feet are touching. And that's already a good 15 or so breaths. Let's take a couple more. If we're really slowing the breath down, we should be here for at least a minute, if not 2, to take a full 20 breaths, so 10 breaths a minute. And then those of you who are in halasana, let's join the people back on the block. Let your hips come down, and then bend the knees. Everybody, float the feet back to the floor. One foot and then the other, without dropping. Keep the sacrum on the block. Make sure the whole sacrum is supported, even towards the tailbone. Needs some support. Elbows bend, lift the heart, and then look back. You're going to take the head and drop it back. The chin lifts. Fish pose. Keeping the hips on the block. The modification of fish pose. If you have a safe neck and you feel support there, you can cross the hands to either shoulder. Pause, deeply breathing in, deeply breathing out. And then bring the elbows safely and gently back to the earth. Tuck the chin in. Lift the hips. Release the block. Lower to the floor. If you have a block or bolster, bring it between the knees. Take the arms wide and we'll drop over to the right side. Left side. Turn the head and remember to roll the head just to keep the tension out of the shoulder, if that feels good to you. If it feels good to just hold the head steady, that's an option as well. Bring the knees back to center. You're lifting. Still have the block and lower all the way to the right. Head turns to the left. And I'm going to roll my head again because it just feels like sometimes the neck has a little tension from class. And I just want to roll it side to side. Ultimately, holding it to the left. And then release gently. Bring the knees back to center, remove the block. And plug the heels into the corner pockets of your mat. We'll get a good full 5-minute Shavasana here. So you relax. And please take the time to take that full Shavasana. You've earned it, you deserve it. It takes us 5 minutes to get in deep relaxation. Once you're here and you feel that relaxation response take over, you're welcome to stay here for another 10 minutes. The rest and relax response is a rejuvenation and a repair for the body. So when you are at complete relaxation, there's no stress, you're not hypervigilant, you have warmth and you're quiet, the mind is still. In that state, we access infinite intelligence. In that state, we access the healing process in the body. In that state, the relaxed, full, complete release of the body, our body can repair. So doesn't it deserve that energy? It does. If we're going to work it hard, if we're going to use and abuse the body every single day, and it needs that opposition, that release, and time to relax and deeply repair. Honor the self. If you fidget, it's okay. Do your best. This can be a challenging posture, especially for those of us who really like to move and not sit still. Imagine though that you have a comforter heavy on your body, and it's just that comfort releases into the body and relaxes you into the earth, and you become heavy with relaxation. Light as the weight of the world releases from the shoulder, and a lightness as you relax more deeper, more deeply. For another couple minutes. Check in with the jawbone. Check in with your cheeks and the head, the skull and the brain. Can you relax the eyes, the ears, the mouth, the jaw? And check in with the torso. Check in with the heart, the ribs, the internal organs. Can you relax the arms and the shoulders? Relax the hands, the fingers. Relax the hips. And check in with the legs, from the upper hip all the way down through the heel. And relax deeper. Let go of the quads. Let go of the hamstring. Send some love down to the legs and honoring their working for you, working with you in the world to take you where you need to go, and allow for the action to happen. Relax the whole body. And lengthen your in-breath. Stretch the arms overhead, hook the thumbs, lengthen the feet forward and the arms wide open. As you take the deep breath, send the breath through the extremities, awakening the fingers, the wrists, the ankles, the toes. Draw the knees and arms together, rolling to one side in fetal position. Pause in fetal position. Acknowledge with gratitude, with great gratitude and understanding, the work that you've done to get you this far, the progressions that you take, the little baby steps every day, moment by moment. And if you haven't taken baby steps, take baby steps. If you're feeling like, oh, I'm not where I should be, take baby steps to get there. You will get there. It's one step at a time. It's not giant leaps. I mean, occasionally there's a leap
that happens and we feel and see our progression, but most of the time it's a snail's pace, and we really don't get to see how far we've come until, you know, we're at the top of the mountain and we look back down and we say, oh my gosh, look at that journey I just took. We want to look back with joy and understanding and gratitude and saying, look how joyful it was along the way. And I can see where the dips and valleys were, the sadness, the sorrows, and the ups and the highs as well. Celebrate it all. Come to seated position. Bring the hands to heart center. Breathe in deeply and exhale with a sigh. Let's take the hands in a protective mudra. Right wrist over left, back of the hands coming together. Curl the pinkies around each other. Curl the middle finger around and curl the pointer fingers. That leaves your ring finger and thumb free. We come into Abhaya Hridaya, fearless heart, courage, inner wellspring, inner stamina and strength. That's what we've built today. I'm going to show you this one more time if you didn't quite catch that. Releasing the fingers. We're coming to still protection, pinky swear. So you're giving the pinkies a little handhold, the same curling around of the middle finger, pointer finger, and then thumb and ring finger coming together right here. Abhaya Hridaya. At the heart center, with a full breath in and a full breath out. And release. Bring the hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Thank you for sharing the space, time, and energy, and going on this journey with me. Namaste. And thank you, friends on Facebook. Please leave a comment. I do check them out, and I will look at those. And we'll say goodbye for our friends on YouTube.